So, hello everyone, welcome to this session of version controlling using Git and GitHub. So, this is a very much required skill in IT industry, as I have been saying, and why it is you would be knowing shortly. So, let's begin about our today's agenda. So, our agenda would be what were the issues before Git came into existence and how to install Git. So if you are in our WhatsApp group, I shared you the link of Git SCM and I told you to download it. If you did, very good. If you didn't, don't worry. You still have lots of time. You can download anytime. I'll be showing the link shortly as well. Then the another thing you would be learning is how to collaborate with GitHub. So I think you have seen what GitHub looks like, but you don't know the actual power of GitHub, and that is collaborations. So you would be seeing the collaborations part as well as how to contribute with GitHub. So not only collaborations, but when you actually see the code, like for example, many code sources, like let's say Linux is called as open source. So that word open source, it means that whatever code is written, so whatever is behind Linux operating system, everything or most of the thing is made available to people to see and to contribute. So that's why these kind of OSs are the best. So like Windows, I don't think Windows is anything open source. Apple, not at all. Okay, so they are much more into money. They don't have anything open source. Git has many, I mean, Google has many projects open source. Microsoft also has many projects open source, but they are not Windows or any other. Android is again completely open source. So the power of open source is that any developer, including you, me, anyone who wants to look into that what's going behind the code you are writing. Okay, so in Python you are importing libraries, but what code is written behind those libraries, you can see that with the help of open source, because the open source means that it's available for everyone to read and check check in depth and know what is written in it and how what is working and how it's working. So that's about it. And then what is open source? So a version control system is a program or set of programs that track changes to your collections of files. So let's say you have a software program. Okay. So let's say you are a developer of Android. Okay. We all are here developers of Android, and we are going to send an Android update today. So it could be, let's say, security update. So we have Android phones. Actually, we are developers of the Android, and we are pushing a security update in market of Android today. Okay. So you push the code and you don't have any copy. Okay. You have only one code. You made some changes. You gave them the security updates and you pushed them in the users' phones. But now users are complaining that their phones are crashing. What would you do? You don't have any copies. Got the point? Can I get some replies about this? So you are Android developer, okay? You are working in the core of Android. You pushed a security update and people are saying that their phones are crashing because of the new update and you want to revert to the previous update. Then what will you do? You can't just keep, so like this Android and everything, they are like 1 GB or 2 GB of data minimum, okay? So you can't keep a copy of each and every version, right? You like it would be hectic and it would be lots of unnecessary data. Why would I keep Android version of KitKat or whatever, like all the old versions? Why would I keep copy of them when people won't be using it? So I'll just keep one file, the original one that's working on. And now going back to the like example itself. So I post update and people are complaining that okay, their phones are crashing. What would I do? Panic, lots and lots of panic. What is possible I can do? So I pushed a version 2.0. Anyone has any solution for this? Just any silly solution? Okay. Anyone can think of something? Revert to old state of the update. Yeah, but that's the problem. We want to revert to the old state but I had only one file and that's the main file and I pushed that main file as an update and I don't have any other copies. And when I don't have version control system, so that is my main problem. So this thing to revert to older version when I don't have any previous copies or of it or anything. So that is what version controlling helps you. So in just a main file, you can revert instantly to previous versions of your code, so you don't have any problems. So this is a solution that gave this is a solution that version control gave. Another one was to compare changes over the time. So whatever changes I do, you will be seeing in Git. I'll be showing how it is how you can properly track your changes shortly, and then of course recover the older versions. So for this example, you can easily recover it using a version control system. So now basically there are two types of version control system, that is centralized and distributed. Okay, so centralized would mean a central server. So you have a central server, and there you have the version control, and there are computer A and B. So just for example, computer A would be me, computer B would be Aditya. Okay, so I and Aditya want to like make a program together. So we are sitting and we are just pushing our main code in the central server, and their version controlling is happening. Version controlling means what? So keeping track of each and every version. Okay, so you have each and every you have each and every version track in it. Okay, and now just imagine the server crashed and I pushed, then again the example that I pushed a new code in Android users phones and their phones are crashing. So if this main server is crashed, I can't do anything because I don't have the copy of previous code and I don't have any version control system. I have only new code. I didn't make copies. Neither did Aditya. So how do we collaborate? How do we do it? So centralized VCS had that problem because everything depended on one particular server, and you can't just rely on one server, right? So this was a major drawback of centralized VCS, and it's nothing but there is a centralized server and there you have your version control. Okay, you have your code and you can control your versions there. But and yeah, so popular centralized VCS were SVN, CVS, and Perforce. You don't need to worry much about this. It's just for your general information. Okay, and SVN is most popular, and it also works with GitHub. So I'll show you where you can see how it works with GitHub. So that was about centralized. And distributed VCS is that where I have the version control system, so does Aditya, so was everyone else, and so does the server. So I can keep Android 11, Aditya can have Android 10 at the same time, and the server can have Android 12 at the same time. And we can shift between versions ourselves. So I can fetch the data from server, I can fetch the data from Aditya, and we can contribute accordingly. You can see here. So I can keep any version, Aditya can keep, and the server can keep, it doesn't matter. And even server is, if the server is down here, we can still collaborate. We don't have any restrictions. So that's the power of distributed VCS. And the popular example is of course Git. So Git is what we are going to use. Then there is Mercurial and Bazaar. And Git is the most popular distributed version control system and became an industry standard. So quick, do you know who created VCS? No, not VCS, but who created Git? So can anyone Google it and tell me quickly? Just Google it, who found Git or who invented Git. You will get one person's name and you must have heard that person's name. Just write it in the chat box. I'm waiting. Quickly, anyone, please. Linus, exactly. So who is Linus Torvalds? He is one and only the creator of Linux. Okay. And why did he create Git? He created Git because he wanted to contribute on Git. He wanted to contribute on creating Linux, right? उसको बनाना था Linux और उसको contribute करना था code के ऊपर. Now the thing was to contribute on Linux and to code and to create Linux and some of its special like kernels. So he didn't have the developers with him at the same time, same place. Okay. Maybe some developers were from India, some developers were from USA or any other place. So he was like, no, I'm going to create Linux. So I need a good version control system that is distributed. So he said, जाने दो, I'll create Git. So he created Git. So Linus Torvalds created Git as a purpose to collaborate and contribute and create the Linux operating system, which many people use now. So that's a fact. So what were the issues before Git came into existence? So untraceable previous updates. Okay, just imagine there was no version control system and all. So like people used to create hard copies of each and every code version they have. So it's not a good way, right? You can't keep each and every copy of whatever software versions or updates you're giving. Just imagine Windows updates. You have one per week or something. So for each Windows update, you can't keep a copy of that particular Windows, right? It's very hectic. So, and you can't trace previous updates. Difficulty in collaboration, right? You can't collaborate. And keeping live code and under development code in separate places and difficulty in merging those. So these were all the problems before Git. And that's why Mr. Linus Torvald said, no, I'm going to create Git because I want to create Linux operating system. And we would be moving towards how it looks like when actually operating with Git right now. So has anyone, like everyone, downloaded Git SCM as I gave you this link yesterday? If you didn't, don't worry. So just some tutorials we're going to run through and see how Git works. Okay, Daryl has done, very great. Anyone else? I think people are sleeping today. Yes, downloaded, great, Nakul. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go in downloads, I'll create new folder, and what do we say? Git session. Okay, something. Git session. I'll just cd into it. So this cd function is a command in which you can change current directory. CD stands for current directory, so you can change your directories like that in Windows, in Linux, in Mac, everywhere. Okay, and what I'll do is now you will actually see how the power of VS Code works shortly. So in VS Code, I'll open that folder. So in downloads, I created this Git session. Okay, and now I'll create a new file. So control save. This would be, let's say, hello.txt. Just imagine it's a code. Okay, but for now, let's work with hello.txt. So
just go slow so they can also perform with you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
Okay.
everyone just create a folder and open the terminal and move to the directory. If you don't know how to move to the directory, we will tell once again. But just follow this step.
So CD is the like CD stands for current directory, and CD space any directory you want to go to. So quick way is like just drag whatever folder you want and you can just set it as current directory. Or I think in Windows, what you can do is you can go in particular directory, right click, and there you see open git bash. So that's for Windows. I think it's still like it worked for previous versions. I don't know if it's still possible. Uh, uh, download git. Yep. Can we use PyCharm? Of course, Nakul, you can use whatever you want. So this is just for introduction. If you want to follow along, no problem. You can try these codes by yourself. So, okay, let's have 1 minute for you guys to download. Maharima, what did you have problem with different options? You just have to download one, whichever your system is, Windows and Mac, the latest version. Git SCM or even Linux. So Git SCM, just click here. This will show you the latest version, this particular box. So for me, it is this one. I've already downloaded. You can accordingly too. Okay, gitscm.com, the very first, this part. You'll download it. It's a very small, like small software. You can download it easily. And once you do that, then I guess Windows users get Git SCM and Git Bash. I think Git Bash and what is the other one, Aditya?
Hold on.
Git bash and git
Git
GUI.
GUI. Git GUI.
So git bash is what you want. Okay. And what you can do is just write git and enter. So you can see every command you have and like mostly some quick tutorial about it. What to do after creating a folder. Okay, no, cool. So we are, so in folder, just create any file you want. Okay, it could be any code, it could be anything. I've created a txt, I have created a txt, so you can even keep python or anything, doesn't matter, right? So just suppose I'm writing hello all, welcome to today's session. Okay, and I saved it. So before this, once you have downloaded Git, what you need to look into is, okay, wait. Yeah, so once you have downloaded Git, so these would be your most helpful commands. That's git help, git status, git log. You would be seeing them how you are going to use shortly. And to configure Git on local machine, once you have downloaded it, you have to use git config user.name to username and git config user.email to email. So I'll show you how it works. So another desktop, I'll just push everything here and there. Okay, I think it's full screen. Yeah. So the command which is most important is to set up git, and better would be my terminal only. So I'll cd into the downloads, cd git. Okay, I think that this should be visible. So
Yeah,
to
it's visible.
set up Git on your local environment, once you have downloaded Git, what you need to do is open your Git bash. Okay, so Git bash you have to open, and what you have to do is git config user.name to whatever username you want. Okay, so whatever user name you want, I will say this. Okay, so say this is not git directory. So the first thing you need to do is git init. So whenever you create any new folder or anything and you want to get started with git, so this is your first command you need to type. Any folder you are, first you have to do git init. So it will initialize a git repository. Okay, so what actually happens is, you can see this .git folder. So any folder with starting with dot, it's a hidden folder, right? So even if you're in Windows and everything, so I've just made the feature of show me the hidden files. So that's why I'm seeing this folder, but actually you can't see this folder. This is a hidden folder, right? So this .git folder gets created once you write git init. So git space init will initialize a git repository. Okay, so wherever you have your project, you are going to do git init. It will initialize, and then after that you have to do this git config user.name, whatever username you want, and git config dot email to your email id. So it will be your email id, and it is necessary because wherever you are going to push, sorry, git config user.email, it is user.email, right? And it is required because wherever you push your code, this thing is required. So like people will see, okay, a particular person named Atharva Khedkar, he pushed this command. So everyone would see these things. Only name and email are required. And also in particular folder this is. And if you want to set it globally, so for any project you work, if for any project you work, you want to set this as like the final. So what you can do is git config and dash dash global you can add. So git config dash dash global and then user.name and user.email. So for any program you work on, so this would be set as fix, right? So these things would be fixed globally. So that's the difference. So just like I have fixed those globally. So these are my global commands. And now I've initialized a git repository. And now let's work with my hello.txt. So I wrote hello all, welcome to today's session. Okay, so just imagine this was my Android 1.0. And now what I'll do is I'll first see git status. So on branch master, no commits yet, and there are untracked files. So this .dstore is just like you can say cache of of this Mac OS particularly. So don't look after this .dstore. It's just rubbish. So hello.txt, this is in RAID, and it says use git add to include where it to be committed. So actually, how GitHub works is like how Git works is that you have to do git add and file name hello.txt. Okay, so now this file would be tracked. So git status. Okay, now it says that changes are yet to be committed. Will Git extension pack in VS Code work same as installing it from website? I like it will work for only VS now. When you are talking about working in any other environment, so for VS Code, it will work. And in fact, for extension pack, I think you need this git SCM installed first. So git SCM is required everywhere. And I think extension pack doesn't contain git as per I know. And if I'm wrong, please tell me. But as per I know that git SCM is required first, and then you can configure because it looks for global variables. So now what I did git add. Okay, I did git add. Now I'm going to do git commit. So what git add does is that, so it there is a thing called as staging area. Okay, just imagine you are in a Indian wedding and you are going to click a photo. So you are in an Indian wedding, you are going to click a photo with the bride and the groom. So you would be like, come on, come on the stage, come on the stage. Okay, so this git add, this command would bring you on the stage. This command will bring you on the stage. And git commit, and you give a message here, so -m, and you tell what this thing is. So this is, let's say, first line. Okay, so this git commit, what it would do is it will click your photo. So git add will call you on a stage. Git commit -m will click your photo with a tagline first line. So this is your commit message. Okay, so this is like your in Instagram you write your bios, image description. So this is kind of image description. Okay, and why is it necessary? Because you don't have to worry about any other copies or extension. Okay, you can work in the same code. So now git add, git commit. So that's all you required for local git setup. Okay, and now what you can do is, so now I'll show you. So just imagine you have a little brother. Any Marvel fans here? So you have a brother or a sister, and he or she is a Loki, Lord of Mischief. Okay, so just imagine I had a very big program here. I had a very big program here, and what my brother or sister did, they did this. Okay, sorry, not here. This is a Android code. They did this and this and this. Yeah, everything messed up my code and saved the file. And Command S saved the file. So they did this. You don't even know what they did. You just opened your code and left. And they did such thing. And you want to figure out what to do. You don't have any copies. So now here you required Git. So this is the main feature of Git. What you can do git checkout and again the file name. So hello.txt. See what happened. Code fixed the way it was before the previous commit. So it's like going into checkpoint. So if you play games, I like playing Prince of Persia a lot. Okay, I liked Prince of Persia, So in that you had checkpoints, and what checkpoints did was, if you died in the later stage, you can revive from checkpoint. So similarly, this git checkout works. So git checkout, what does it do? It just brings you to your previous checkpoint. What would your previous checkpoint would be? It would be your previous commit. And now I think it won't be so good for you. So let's increase the level now. This is my deployed code of my portfolio, right? This is my portfolio. I'm going to keep this code. So I have its code on GitHub. I'll grab it. Portfolio. So this is my code. Okay. Download. And I'll do this. So you can see here git checkout with SVN as well. So SVN works, which I told you. SVN was a centralized distribution system. Okay. Centralized version control system, sorry. So let's clone that one. Okay. So git clone, and I'll just paste the link. That's it.
Yes, Jack. Okay, so Atharva told you. So if you are playing a game and you have saved the mission of your previous mission, even if you die at some point of the time, you can revert back to the last saved checkpoint. Similarly, it happens in the case of Git. So you can revert back to the last checkpoint. Okay. Yes, Atharva, continue.
Yeah. So now let's just look into some features of VS Code. So see, this is the code and this is my website. Wait. Okay, so this is my code and I'll say go live. So go live is an extension in VS Code. So what is VS Code? VS Code is basically IDE, and it's like a text editor. Okay, like your normal text editor, but it has some powerful thing, and it's called as extensions. So you can install numerous amounts of extensions. So if you want to write C and C++, you have an extension to write C and C++. So C and C++ will be supported in VS Code. Similarly, if you want to do Android coding, so you can do it here. There are another extensions for that. There is live share. So for particular this code, I can do live share. I can talk in this live share, not leaving my IDE. In this live share, I can just talk with Aditya. Aditya could help me out with this code. We can talk and we can commit together. Okay. And get graph. And then this go live is used by this web developers, right? So this is my portfolio, local version of my portfolio. Okay, this is my code. And Loki, the Lord of Mischief, whoever it could be your brother, sister, whosoever, they did this. Just mischief everywhere. I don't even know where whatever they are doing. Okay, sounds bad. Sounds really bad. Right? And not only this, so this is level 1 and the control saved. I saved it. I don't even know where I did what I did. So now this is level 1. Now level 2. So this is my code, this portfolio. So this is my code. I'll delete files. Deleted JS, deleted SAS. See here, they are being deleted. Which folder? Image. Let's delete images. So now they are in trash can. Deleted those as well. Empty. Now everything gone. So now let's go into my folder portfolio. Okay, here only. So this thing, I messed up the code in index. I also deleted the folders important for me, and I removed them from trash. What can I do? I can go into that folder and I can say git checkout and dot. So dot means everything within the folder. Okay, dot means everything within the folder. Enter. And tada, I have my folders. I have everything back. Control Z. No, Jack, Control Z won't work. So Control Z would be for your code, right? What about my deleted folders? The folders I deleted from trash can as well. So now you can see I did git checkout file name, like git checkout and my portfolio, and I have those folders once again. And the code is also as it is. And you can check here, nothing scratched, like nothing went wrong, just as normal. Cool, right? I even deleted those things from trash can. Still, I have those back. So that's the power of Git. And what it actually does is that it doesn't make any copy. it actually just keeps, like, it kind of clicks photo of particular state of your code at that time, and that everything happens in one small folder, that's .get. Okay, hardly 4 MB for this particular project. So it just kind of captures the moment, captures the state of the particular code, and with that you can revert it, and you can bring back your deleted files, everything. So that's the power. So this was my project and I did something. Okay, now level 2. Now my brother or sister, they are even smarter. Now why they are smarter? Okay, you can see. So git init, git add, git commit. This is just to commit, okay, in a local machine. Now to roll back, we used git checkout. File name for particular file, and dot will do everything in the folder. Okay, if you replace file name with dot. Now, my brother or sister, they are even more smart. What they will do is they'll do the mischief again. Okay, so now again, let's delete the folders. CSS deleted, fonts deleted, images deleted, and here also let's have some mischief. Yeah, I don't know whatever I'm doing. And they are just more smarter than this. They are from CS background. See, by the way, it messed up here. Yeah, now it's messed up. My code is messed up. So now what I'll do. So this is just one thing. So I told you git checkout would bring those files back to me, right? But it was just because they were not committed. So git checkout just gives you the previous commit. But now they are more smarter. They are from CS background. They'll do git add dot, which means everything would be added. You can see git status. Okay, so each and every these files are added. See, deleted these files and it would be added, and then git commit. So git commit will click photo of this particular state, git commit, and let's say messed up, LOL, right? So now I committed this. So now I can't use checkout. My code is, everything is messed up. See, everything is messed up. I don't even know what is this. So now what I can do? So I have another command. So I have another power just because of VS Code, and it is git reset head. So head is basically a pointer which is in git. Okay, if you don't know pointer, don't worry. And then I'll do this, and also I'll do git reset hard. So it will just bring back original states. There is hard, there is soft, and there is default and other things. You can check it out later. So git reset hard, and then here I'll do number of commits back. So I want one commit back. Okay, I'm sorry, git reset dash dash hard head. Okay, am I in portfolio? Looks like I messed up real big. Sorry for this. I'll check it in portfolio here. Not enough directory or stack entry. Yeah, right. And git reset. Okay, wherever you fix, like wherever you have problem, you can do git reset, and dash h will give you help about it. So see, as I told you, hard, soft, merge, and everything. So git reset hard, and head would be at first. So tada. No, Jack. It worked. My portfolio is normal. Let's see here. Worked. So now even anyone from CS background, it's messing up with my code, and it worked once more. Okay. I think I was giving space that way. That's why it was giving the problems. See, git reset hard, and this like this is connected, and I think I gave space here. Yeah, that's why it didn't work. Okay. So awesome, right? Even if they are from CS background, they tried to mess with my code, and they even committed the thing, but I have it back in the original state. So you did git checkout, you did reset, and there is one more git revert. You can say it yourself. So what happens is that just imagine a wedding. There is a stage. Okay. So what git add does is it just brings your code in staging area. Okay. You did git add. So every your rishtedar, your bhai, they were like, chalo chalo stage pe photo leni hai. Everyone was like, aa jao photo leni hai. And then you are on stage with git add. And now what you do after that? You do commit. So what git commit does? It just it writes a caption for your photo. Once you click a photo, you need a caption to upload on Instagram. So git commit will click your photo and give a caption both at the same time. Okay. So git commit will just click your photo and give it a caption and store in git directory. So this is all about local directory. This everything happened in local. Now we want to see about real collaborations and all. So that's why we need GitHub. Why do we need GitHub? So GitHub is a place where you can collaborate. Okay, I did Git version controlling in my local system, right? Everything was done in local. Now I want to collaborate it and I want to see it in action on GitHub. So GitHub is my friend. And now many people are confused with the difference between Git and GitHub. What is Git? Git is like, just for an example, Git is like emails. You know, email is a technology, right? Email is a technology, and with email you have various platforms with which you can use this email technology. So you have Gmail, you have Outlook, Yahoo. Is Yahoo still on? I don't know if Yahoo is still on, but you have Gmail, you have Outlook. Anyone can use anything by their choice. So just like that, Git is a technology, while GitHub is the platform with which you use the technology. ओके, ठीक है, समझा इतना? किसी को कोई दिक्कत, दुविधा, परेशानी? चमका? Any problem still here? Because now we are going to shift to GitHub. So if you have any doubts about Git, right now is the time. Now I'll teach you how to actually collaborate on GitHub. So my local code, it's normal, everything is back. Can anyone just reply? Any doubts? Silliest would be appreciated. And even if you don't have, just write no. Okay, Jack got everything. Great. Okay. So now GitHub. So if you don't have a GitHub account, now is the time to create. Go to github.com, right? You can create your account there. I don't think creating an account is something I need to teach you, because I think you can pretty much do that. So this is just about some summary about people I follow. This could be your friends. So these everything are my friends. And Lawrence Moroni is again member of Google Developer Club. So you can just follow everyone you want. Okay. This here you can see your repositories. Now what is repository? Repository is your project. Every project is like, you can state a project online is your repository on GitHub. Okay. So here you can create new repository. Okay, add create new repository, and let's say git practice. Okay, I can give whatever description. I can keep it public or private. I'll keep it private, because then everyone will get a notification I'm doing git practice. That's why create repository. Okay, and now, so you have this thing, and you have a HTTP link, and with that you have some instructions. So see, whatever I told you, git add, git commit, everything. And similarly, if you already have, then what you have to do, git add, git. So even if you forget how to operate with Git, once you create a repository here, you can just see, oh, there is something called as git add, there is something called as git commit. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we are going to work new. Okay. So I created a new repository here. It was add a new repository. I created a new repository. Okay. I got this page. I'm going to copy this link. Now what I'll do is I'll go to my preferred place. Let's say downloads. Okay. So now I'm in downloads. These are my files in downloads. So I'm in downloads. I'll do git clone and I'll no okay, sorry, git clone won't work, I think. Let's see. Yeah, the repository is empty, that's why git clone won't work. So now you don't git clone. What you do is I'll open the git session, cd git session. The in git session I had this hello.txt. Let's see my hello.txt. I'll open the hello.txt. Where is my git session? Okay, git session, open. So git session had my hello.txt and hello all, welcome to the first session. So I committed this, right? I committed this. So what I did was I did git add already and I did git commit. Okay, now I don't, and anytime if you have to check, you can just check git status. So okay, see, I did git add. Now I have to commit. So I'll do git commit -m, write a message, first commit, let's say. So now this is what you did in local. Okay, you did git add, you did git commit. Now what you need to do, git remote. Okay, remote means wherever online, add origin. So origin is where, so like get remote add origin. So this is basically your online place, and you'll just paste this link here. Get remote add origin and get push -u. It means upstream, and you need to do this only the first time you're using like you're pushing the code on GitHub. So get push -u origin. So origin is basically this link. Now get remote add origin, right? So what I did was I renamed origin as this particular link. So what I'll do is I'll do git push -u origin and master. So master would be my branch name. So now what is branches and everything, I'll show you shortly. So now I did everything here. What I did in GitHub, I just created a new repository. I copied the link and then everything I did on my terminal. That's it. And then when I'll refresh this page, I have this file here, first comment. So that's how you push your code on GitHub with your terminal. So I didn't leave my terminal at all. So now once I have created the repository, I can do everything on my local and I can push those things accordingly there, right? So this was about terminal. So now the same thing I can do with VS Code without even needing code. How? And of course you can see, so I did this U and the commit name was first line. And when I did everything, so this is the power of VS Code because it knows like it lets you know everything and all. So now this is commit to. Okay, now I'll push with VS Code. So now here what I'll do is this changes, add. You can see staged changes. Staged changes means staging area. So now this add button did git add thing for me. Message, so this will commit for me. So second commit, I'll do write. Okay, now you can see here there is one thing called as one and the upper arrow. So it means I'm one commit ahead. So I'll just click here. I clicked here and that's it. So now if I'll check it here once more, second commit, see the thing was updated. This is second commit. So without even writing code, VS Code lets you to quickly do version controlling without even leaving your IDE. So that's how you use Git and GitHub for your local projects, right? So for the project that I want the world to see that are completely done by me. So that's what this was about. But now what about like these are the repositories that I have. Okay, this would be repositories that I have. These are the repositories I want the world to see. But let's suppose I want Aditya to contribute with me. So Aditya is my friend. I know Aditya. So what I'll do is I'll just give Aditya access. Okay, so from settings here, manage access. I'll just confirm my password here. So here who has access, invite a collaborator. So I can invite Aditya, Adi-9. See, here it is Aditya's profile. I can add him to the repository. He'll get a mail to join this repository and then he can contribute to the same code. So just like I pushed right now, he can push similarly with his terminal, with his VS Code, just like that. Okay, just like he owns this repository. But this is only possible when you know when the other person is your friend. Okay, so if you want to contribute with your friends, you can just simply give them the access. But what about when you don't know the other people? So for example, for big organizations, so see Microsoft. So let's search Microsoft. See, Microsoft has their Microsoft Learning trainings. So see, this is their these are all the repositories they have. Is it Microsoft's official? I can't say, but yeah. Similarly, let's search another. Let's say Google. See,
You can go to TensorFlow also.
yeah. So see, this is Google's verified profile, like the group, and here they have 2000 repositories. So 2000 projects are completely online for everyone to see. Here I must like TensorFlow. I don't know if they have another. Yeah, see, yeah, TensorFlow tools they have. I think TensorFlow must be another organization as well. TensorFlow. Yeah, see, TensorFlow is another organization. So TensorFlow organization, they have 99 repositories they want to show. So TensorFlow is completely open source. So that's the power. And just not only seeing this, but I can contribute here. So if I want to just make changes in their code, I can help them. I can help them create a better version. Okay. And now how all these things done are, so I'll show you. So now for contribution, just imagine that, okay, Aditya was trying, okay. Aditya was trying with me, see. So Aditya made it successful. Congratulations, Aditya. So if anyone you follow, then here it will be updated. So now it is about when I have people I trust, so I can give them manage access, and I can just give them the name, and the particular person can contribute with me. But what about these big organizations? So just like not a big, but we still have an organization of our IEEE CIS. Okay, and just imagine I want to contribute this to this ML bootcamp. So what I'll do is I'll fork. Okay, and I'll fork in my profile. So now what is this fork? So this fork basically creates a copy of that project that is particularly for me. Okay, so now see, this is a fork of this ML Bootcamp repository of an organization IEEE CIS. The organization could be anything. I can do fork. The fork is everywhere. Okay. So watch will just like make sure you are seeing, so you can see all activities and everything. Star would just like help the user to get noticed and everything. Okay, and fork will just clone the particular project specifically for you. So in fact, anywhere I can do TensorFlow here. TensorFlow I can fork. 84.7K people have forked this. Okay, so they want to contribute. And there is this things called pull request and issue. So you will see this shortly. So now see, I forked. So now this is my copy now. Atharva Khedkar /ML Bootcamp. This is my copy of that particular code. What I'll do is I'll click on download. I'll copy this link. Now I won't do this download zip. Okay, download zip is not for coders. For coders, you do copy, then you go to whatever folder you want to. So in my downloads folder, I want to do git clone. Okay, git clone, paste the link. That's it. So now it will create a copy in a local environment. So I have the project in my local environment. I'll just cd into that. So cd ml bootcamp lsc. All files I have: readme week 1, week 2, week 3, readme week 1, week 2, week 3. I have everything here. I did git clone. Okay, and this was my local project, right? The project which I got on Atharva Khedkar /ML Bootcamp. I can open it in here also, so it will be easier. So open ML Bootcamp. And now in README, I want to edit. So README I didn't add yesterday's session links. Okay, so I'll do that. Week 5 supervised learning. What did you learn yesterday? You learned KNN. So I'm helping. So we learned KNN. Okay, I'll update it later on. So I also uploaded on YouTube. I can update it later. So just imagine I added this session Y and I'll also copy and create a session 6. I can update the links later on. This is just for quick illustration. So session 6 and session 6 is Git and GitHub. It's laggy. Aditya, it's laggy.
No. It's not laggy at all. Just check your internet connection.
Version controlling using Git and GitHub, right? So now I saved it. Okay, I can give the latest links. I can contribute whatever I want to. So I contributed. So now I can push from here. You got what I was gonna do. So you can just see simultaneously it will work here also. Okay, changes, right? Now it's changes. I'll do git status. I can see I updated modified readme. Yeah, git add dot means everything. So see, it's staged, right? Git commit added added session 5 and 6. Keep them short and descriptive. Okay, so I did git commit and see now it all vanished. I committed and you can see this one and arrow. So it means that now I'm ready to push. Git push. Okay, I can just do git push now because the upstring and everything was set as soon as I did git clone. So I did git push, everything got pushed. Here also it should get updated. Is it pushed, right? It's pushed now. So yeah, see 0 0. Now see, you can see session 3 and 4 links added. So everything I can do with my VS Code or my terminal, I didn't have to even see here. That's how it worked. So I contributed, but the thing is I contributed in my copy of the particular version, right? It is in the copy that I have created for myself. So what I'll do is after this, the branch is not even. Did it refresh? Okay, see, this branch is one commit ahead. So what I can do is I can contribute, and how I can contribute? I can contribute by you opening a pull request. So I opened a pull request on this. Okay, and what I'll do is create pull request. I'll do session added 5 and 6. I can write my description and create pull request. So now for big organizations, you need to do like that. You need to do some proper changes in their code and you can create pull requests. Okay, so now this pull request would be available to see for everyone. And so anyone in the organization, okay, so the head of the organization can see, okay, we had a new pull request here. Atharva Khedkar wants to merge. So I can just do this merge pull request, confirm merge. Okay, so now the pull request gets closed and he contributed in my code. I can see here week 5, week 6. So that's how you contribute for other for big organizations. So let's again go to TensorFlow. So see, to make TensorFlow better, 198 people want to contribute and 17,000 people have already contributed. It could be genuine people or it could be 1%, 2 to 3 times, I don't know. But their code was updated this many times. 198 are still open. Okay, if anyone faces any issues, so people create issues here. And that's how people contribute. And once you contribute, it shows on your profile. So people talk about open source contributions. So that is open source contribution. Okay, any open source code you have like TensorFlow, you create a copy by forking, then you update the things, then you create a pull request, and then you tell them ki I updated this. So the first person updated parse entity error message, did some things. Okay, and then if he did it properly, then probably it will get merged and he would be shown as a contributor for that repository. And even on your profile, you can see it yourself as a contributor. So that's how you contribute for open source codes. So got everything like with this? Have any problems? Please tell me. Okay, so push is for pushing, pull, yeah, okay. Now it's like git pull. Okay, already up to date. So if the like remote is updated, if it is updated online by Aditya or by anyone else, so to like to even it with my local system, I'll do git pull. So it will even the code online with my local system. Okay. Then there are things called as branches. So forking creates a branch. And what is branch? So here I have an example. So complete GitHub works like branches. Okay. So I did git add git commit. Okay. So they, like this, it gets added. Okay. So I did 2 changes. Now when I fork, what happens is that new branch gets created. Okay. And now see, so like that, different types of branches get created. The main is anywhere else. The update, like a copy of each of these like each of these commits gets. I get a copy of each of those commits from MAME. Okay. Now I can update in the particular branch. I can update. I can do git commit. I can give them new updates. Okay. I did some new updates for them. Now I'm ready to send a pull request. So I'll send a pull request. The guys will check it out there, and what they'll do is they'll merge it. So git merge update. So see, now it incorporated any of this update they have with their original code, and we have this update. Okay, so this main code will be updated with whatever the contributor added, any update. Okay. So that's like it completely works on branches. Even if I can like, I don't think a great branch you would have here. Let's see. So the graph was pretty much straight because we didn't send any pull requests or all. So for this particular repository, the branch was straight, but for any other repositories, it could be like this branching would happen. Okay. So it basically works like graphs. So that is how you contribute. And one last thing about GitHub, create your GitHub accounts. It's very important. As anyone working in IT, you need to have a GitHub account. And once you do it, create a repository. So I did this now, and I did new repository. Create a repository with your username. And it's a special kind of repository, right? So with your username, you create a repository. So it's a special repository. Okay, it's a special repository. Its readme will be appearing on your public profile. So on my public profile, okay, on my GitHub, your profile. So this thing you can see all the description and on everything. So this I've added, and how I have added, I've created a repository named with my username atharva_Khedkar, and it's a special repository. Its readme will be appearing on your public profile. So it's appearing here. Okay, so the first repository you can create is this repository, the one with your username. Okay, create this repository, and then if you want to create some things like this, you want to add images, you want to add your social links, whatever languages you are exported, and each and everything. So these are called by APIs. So what you can do is go to my repository. Okay, it's public. Now here you can see readme, and in this readme you can see raw. So I'm sorry. So this shows the exact code I've written to show it like this. So readme.md. So .md, this is again Markdown language. If you want to know more about Markdown language, you can Google it out. So if you remember, Markdown was the language that we used to write in Google Colab or any other Python notebook, right? It gives you descriptions in between your codes. So .md, so like it incorporates HTTP, like it incorporates HTML language as well, and some of its features are with this hash you can give headers like h1, h2, and everything. Okay, you can incorporate images using HTML. in Markdown. So these are some of the features. You can just go into raw, you can check my code and you can update accordingly. So for social buttons, I am using these icons and here I've given them ahrefmailing. So everyone who must be knowing HTML, this would look familiar. Okay, comment in Markdown is using this. So I've given comments so that everyone gets it. So social profile buttons are like this. You can copy my code. Don't worry, it's for you only. It's for open source for that only. Please don't steal my AutoCAD though. I like this Iron Man AutoCAD so much. So you can keep any else you want. But yeah, you can go through my code. You can see the like languages and tools I've added. Then top languages here, SRC, keep this same and just change your username to whatever you have. So the-19, I think that's his username. So it will append for him. Most used languages, and these are I think from Aditya. Let's check another one. So this, okay, this is GitHub stats. Let's check for Aditya. The-19. See, Aditya Bobede's GitHub stats. So just like that, you can just use your GitHub stats, okay? And you can create repository with your username and it will show on your profile. So I think this is pretty much good for introduction about Git and GitHub. Even if you are more interested, I would recommend you to do the Coursera Git and GitHub course. It's from Google, by the way. Okay, introduction to Git and GitHub. So this is from Google and it would get you started with a very good amount of Git and GitHub. So if you are interested, you can jump right there. And if you have any doubts, now is the time. So clear? Chamka sabko? I think it could have been a little fast, but actually it's a very vast topic. And there are many more things I want to tell, but the time constraint is very short. So I'm sorry if it's very fast. You can just check it out once more on YouTube as well. So this was what I wanted to give you a basic idea about. Okay, branches you saw. So whenever you do git clone, you get branches. One more example of branching would be git scm. There they have that image of it. Wait. Git scm.org. See this. So this orange could be the main branch. Okay, I did a fork. So this blue could be my fork. So everything till this I copied. Then I added session 5 and 6. It could be this yellow. This could be another commit and I then pushed it. So the original code was in level with my new update. So orange is my original code. It updated with my new features and that's how contribution works. So basically this is a short introduction about Git and GitHub. Okay, Dhanraj has no doubts. Thank you, Dhanraj. Anyone else? Was it fast? Can I get genuine opinions? It was very fast to understand. Was it? Okay. Any replies, please?
Any feedback for the session?
How did you build that AutoCAD? Okay, I didn't build it. I saw it on. I copied it online. Okay, but to create your AutoCADs, you can do that as well. I think what is the AutoCAD? Build my own AutoCAD. See, myAutoCAD.com. So here you can build your own AutoCADs. I tried creating one, but it is no match to the Iron Man AutoCAD that I have. So I got it from Google. So here you can create your own. See, many people customize as however they want. This one I got from Google. It's an image, but I liked it so much, so I kept it. Understood, not totally, but good. Got a good knowledge. Okay, thank you, Nakul. Appreciated it. Appreciate it. Oh my God, stuttering. So I'll recommend you all to please create GitHub accounts. It will be very helpful and necessary. And what you do is you create repositories and you show what projects you created. Okay. You can show any projects that you created on your GitHub. Okay. One last feature I forgot. Sorry. Just one more thing. Like, see, this portfolio has my code, but you would be like, why do I upload this? Yeah. What would I do? Basically for web developers, I uploaded it. I wanted the world to see. It's okay, but what would I do? One more thing, like what would I do? So I have another feature and it's called GitHub Pages. So you can go to GitHub Pages, you can select branch master and its root. So root means the main folder, docs means a particular doc folder, and save. And once you activate this GitHub Pages, you can host your site. Exactly, Sridhar. So you just push whatever repository you have, you just push your HTML, you just push your project here by creating a new repository, go to settings, you have a pages. So now in pages, just activate your pages. And once you do that, your repository would be hosted. So see, this website is hosted on GitHub. So I don't have to worry about hosting at all. So it's completely hosted on GitHub servers. And enforce, I can enforce HTTPS. Okay, so the site is also secured. And to add custom domain, so I got a custom domain. I just wrote it here. I clicked saved and I did some settings on the domain side, and that's it. So I got custom domain as well. So I can host, I can use custom domains. So that's a powerful feature of GitHub Pages. Okay, so GitHub, you can show whatever code you have built. You can even host your repositories, host whatever like website you have. In fact, our IEEE CIS website is hosted on GitHub. Like we were going to shift. I don't know now. Not this one, sorry. IEEE CIS SBC. Okay, so we have our website as well, and we were going to shift its hosting on GitHub, and I think probably we have shifted it. So Atharva Delalikar knew more about it. So like any website, even dynamic ones, you can, I think, host on GitHub. So pretty cool, right? So that's the power of Git and GitHub. So you get contributions, you get hosting, you get everything. So we did what is VCS. You knew about Git and GitHub. We saw both collaborations and contribution. Collaboration, I can just add Aditya. Contribution by creating a pull request, GitHub Pages, and the profile readme. So now we have this one on Kahoot. Next we can do on the quiz, which was recommended by you guys. So please bear with me on this last, I think, last one on Kahoot, last quiz on Kahoot. It would be on Git and GitHub. So Git and GitHub and play. Okay, I'll not challenge, but I'll just start. In fact, I'll do it here. Okay, so please join in and let's end this session after this quiz. Okay, so guys, join quickly. Anyone remaining? Can I start? Just type it in the chat box if anyone is remaining. 21. Okay, 22 I'll start. Okay, Prachi. Of course, Prachi, I'll wait. One minute. Okay, okay, बिल्कुल. Join. Okay. Anyone else remaining? Rutuja and Saundara. Okay, I'm sorry. Done? Okay. I don't know your pronunciation. I'm really sorry. So can I start? Anyone else remaining? Just tell me quickly. 24, I'll start. Okay, let's start. Someone join. Okay, I'm starting. So the first command. That's right. Not get new, but get init, because we initialized with get init. The very first command in any folder that you do is get init. It initializes a empty git repository and you get that .get hidden project folder. Okay. So the quiz is designed so you know new things. So don't worry. Okay, that's right. Version control system. Many people have like just rushed it to version control system. Git command that downloads a repository from GitHub to your computer. To download on computer, I told you. At the end, I did it. That's correct. So at the end, if you remember that CIS, I did git clone, and basically I got all the folders from like online GitHub to my local repository. Okay, so it's called git clone. Not get fork, not get commit, not get push. Get push will do the complete reverse thing. So it will push whatever I have in local to the cloud on GitHub. Git clone, I will get whatever there is on the cloud on GitHub to my local system. Okay. So staging, I told you one commit, okay, not commit, but one thing is done for staging. Gave you an example. So it was git add, it was not git commit, because if you remember the Indian wedding example, so git add, what it will do, it will bring you on stage. Commit, it will click your photo with a caption. Okay, just remember, git add will only bring you on the stage. Git commit and git commit would just write your message and save. No problem if you get wrong right now. This quiz is for your understanding only. Okay, the marks don't matter. Okay, who owns GitHub? I didn't tell you this, but it's just for your own exploration. Okay, many people must have done a tukka, but yeah, it was Microsoft. So just like I didn't tell you, but it was just a common knowledge. So Microsoft owns GitHub. Okay, Maharima on the top, very good. So two types of version control. What was Git? Exactly, distributed, because I can control versions on my PC, Aditya can control in is his, and you all can on your own. And in fact, on GitHub, you can see all the commits. Okay. So it's, you can say it's not necessary, but you can always keep it. So there is like GitHub. So it's nothing but a centralized server, right? We are the common users, and that's the centralized servers. Computer A and B would be us. So it can have, and basically they have. So multiple answers, which are necessary settings for in the starting. What did you set? Exactly. So many people got it correct. Only email and name you want. You don't want user ID or password. You just need name and email. And it's shown on your GitHub, by the way. So who committed it? So yes, of course, I showed you in the beginning. Exactly. So one person thinks Elon Musk created it. Okay, it's funny. It must be a slip of thumb, I guess. But yeah, how to add a commit message? If you remember, yes. So I added this dash M, if you guys noticed. So dash M stands for message, commit message. Okay, Philip is making a comeback. Last question. So I told you there was a thing called a stage. So it's written files are stored before they are committed. Okay, so before using git commit, a place which they are stored. So before using git commit, we did git add, and what git add did, it called you upon the stage. Okay. So our winners are Ryan. Okay, Ryan was yesterday also, right? Sonali. Okay, congrats. And Shilpa. So congrats guys. Daryl was runner-up and Nakul. So great. So this was about today's session. And if you want to see, so here see for a particular repository. So my latest commit, you can see the name. Okay, so it shows like here. So in particular GitHub, it shows your account directly, but it's not only GitHub. As I told you, Git is a version control system, GitHub, and like matlab Git is a technology and GitHub is a platform with which you use. Just like email is a technology and Gmail is a platform. So not only GitHub, but there are other platforms as well. Okay. So there is just not only GitHub, GitHub is just mostly used. You can search for another platforms as well. Okay, I think there is one called as okay, I forgot the name, but there are many, so you can explore. And yeah, so that was pretty much about today's session. Thank you for joining in, guys. I'll just stop the recording.